Good evening, everyone. So we hope that everyone is doing fine, going on no matter what, with all positivity, with just going through as the way it is. So we hope that whatever you have taken from the first, the second, the third, and now the fourth session would somehow be a starting point that you can take to be able now to move on with life, as one of the quotes that I've said. In that state of truth, I trust very important that we can develop in this course is to trust the self. And to trust the self means to really anchor in my own true identity. If I am anchored in this, then as the quote says, then I know how to live life to the fullest. So no matter what happens, you know that that is part of life because deep within me is the truth. There are things that happen out there, but once I go to that center, once I go to that truth about myself, it's just a matter of not so long to come back. So that's also one thing. Yes, we falter. Yes, there are things that happen. But the point there is I should be able to come back into my center and again move on. So that becomes whatever experience that we have. There's no negativity anymore. There's no positivity, but it comes out to be as part of my journey in this life. And I can move on into evolvement, into development, and to further on to go through in life. So it's a matter of perspective of how I am looking my own life to start with. So welcome. So this is our last session. Not really the last session, I suppose. So if ever you would want to have course on your own or course for the meditation that will come, you are much welcome. You can join the meditation that comes every Monday and Thursday at 7 to 7:30. So let me just share the, move on to my PowerPoint and just give it time for a while. And so this is our fourth session for the empowerment of the self. So what is the aim? What do I expect? And to check at the end, at least I'll be able to come up with first to gain a deeper understanding of the law of action. Because we are not just here to sit down. We are not just here to think, but ultimately, whatever is happening within has to be manifested in terms of my action and interaction. So if I'm able to gain understanding of this, that will be again a power that I would be using to be able now to move on with my life's journey. So same thing also about the mind, the power of the mind, the power of the action. So if I go into the understanding of these basic spiritual laws, then it will be an advantage for me. Now, the second point is to have awareness to learn. Part of the understanding of the law of karma is to have awareness of the intention. What would be the relationship between awareness and intention and with the action? What would be the effect of this in my life? Another point, to gain understanding of the universal spiritual laws and principles, which we already have started to learn, which I started last time, creative visualization to help me create the experiences I want. The power of visualization. Most of the spiritual gurus, the spiritual teachers, those who have come up with experiences for this, the main tool that we can use is the power of visualization. As they say, and it's true, before anything happens out there, it first happens within. So there is what you call internal experience or insperience. So it has to happen within. Then it's going to be manifested out there. And as we are doing here when we are discussing, to experience reflective thoughts that come in our discussion. So, and things more about the transformation that I would want to do. Okay. One of the laws, very important, that I should be able to know so that I'll be able to really be a master. What I can do in in terms of what I can manage, what I can control. Because what I was saying last time is situation is out there, but at times we say if that situation changes, if the situation is good, I'll be okay. But no, it's good to understand the law of action, the law of karma. If I understand this, then I'll be able to be liberated from that condition that if things are okay out there, if people are all right, I'll be all right. No. To gain mastery is to be able now to understand how this action move on, what is the basis, and learning, understanding this, then I know that this action would actually like go on into the cycle of positivity or negativity, depending on the intention. So as it says, whatever I give out, so I receive. So the universe works on that. It has to come from me. What am I giving out? Then it will come back to me. So if I'm giving out sorrow, I will definitely, it will bounce. There will be a reaction for that. So I'm the one initiating that. So also, if I am giving joy, then I will also receive joy. So it's first, the question is all about what am I giving? So if I'm experiencing some kind of difficulty, perhaps along the line, there must be something that I have given, whether accidentally, I did not know, I have given out there something else. So also we can understand it in this way. So we are energies. The universe is made up of different forms of energy, and energy will travel. It has the capacity to travel, move on from one to another. So it can travel through some medium, through space in there. As Einstein said, that the world, the universe out there is not an empty space. It is made up of different energy. So if I know this, then I'll be careful. That it's not just about sometimes, even though I'm joking only to say something, I don't mean it, but it has been put out there in terms of a certain action. So definitely that is a wave already of a form of energy in terms of the vibration of the words that I have spoken, and it's going to travel. A very good example here is the domino. So if I come up with that piece of the domino, it's going to topple, it's going to topple. So it's just a matter of time that it will have to come back to me. You notice that when you have some messages that are sent forwarded, so now we have this forwarded, before it was email, now these messages, yeah, you get to receive one, you forward, somebody forwards to somebody, somebody forwards to somebody, and then later on, you notice that what you have forwarded will come back to you, or what you have started to send out there later, is a matter of time, it will come back to you. As they say that the law of karma, the law of action reaction, is something like compared to you went to the post when the letters are still sent through the post. You went to the post and you have a letter to send in that post, and that letter is actually addressed to me, and that is the action. So whatever I am doing, in effect, it will have a return to me. So the action, there will always be a reaction, as you can see in the arrow there. So it can come in different dimensions, thinking. It can be in terms of actions. Actions can be in terms of talking. It can be in terms of, these actions that we do. So you say nice things, what will come? You do good for others, what will come? So if I say also, come up with good thoughts, what will come back to me? Already there is an effect in terms of the feeling. So even though I did not put that thought into action, so if I have a bundle of thoughts, positive or negative, I ruminate, keep on putting my focus into that. As I've said from the beginning, the thoughts will bring about that feeling, the emotion. And then it will go into further, that is now the action. So it's very important that we have this, that if we want to come up with a life that we want to enjoy, with an expression of happiness, with an expression of joy, I have to know this principle. If I know this principle, which is all about my freedom, coupled with that responsibility, I would understand the consequences. Then I'll be more careful and more, let's say, reflecting of what I am giving out to the world. Because what I give out to the world is what I am going to receive. So, as I've said earlier, different levels, very subtle vibrations. You can also give out in terms of the words or in terms of the actions. We communicate in all of these three ways, and we receive the return also in all of these three ways. Say, for example, vibration. So if you already have the thoughts, so this come again from the thoughts. So bundle of thoughts that are coming in there. It comes from the attitude. So if the vibration that you have, like for somebody, if the vibration there is negative, would you be attracted, somebody, let's say, who is angry there? So not naturally, the vibration is already on that level. So if you know that that person in that right, not in the right mood, will you be attracted to go to that person? Say your boss is not in that right mood. You already know, and you would not want to go there and then say something if you have to ask permission to go on a leave. No, no way, because you can already feel the vibration. Because again, the energy. So our consciousness, our thoughts, they have this very powerful energy. So if I know this, I might as well come up with this energy that serves me right, that is in alignment with what I truly wanted in life. And again, the words, the power of the words. So the way we say it, the language that we speak, the words that we say, it carries a certain kind of energy. So like when we say, there are some expressions that we have, like, you want to give a warning to somebody. Don't go there, you will fall. Don't go there, you will fall. And most of the time, what happens, that falling will come, okay? But that is not what you want about the falling. You are giving that and say, you fall. So what is the dominant word there? The dominant picture, the falling. So we have to think of how we can rephrase the words also that we say. So it would be in alignment with what we truly wanted, and also the actions. So the actions also would carry on a certain energy. So in all of this, but what is going on most of the time? We will not be speaking, we will not be doing some kind of actions like this, but our attitude, our thinking is 24 hours. Even when we are sleeping, there is a kind of vibration that is also being emitted. So I might as well do something about this that will serve in terms of what I truly wanted, that will benefit me, and that will also benefit others. So some examples of how, so what we're trying to give in these examples here would be the relationship between the awareness and the action. Actions can be both, is neutral as the way it is. Not until we are aware about the awareness, about the intention. So it's something like you want respect, you're giving respect to others. But what is the motive behind that? You are doing something good for somebody, but what is the motive? Is it wanting to get something in return? Is it wanting to prove myself to be right? Is it something to manipulate others? So the action can be good. It can be right. You're doing a good favor. You're doing a good action as it is. But what is the energy behind that? What is the awareness? What is the consciousness behind that? If it has something to, I have to take something already, then that means that there is already something mixed up into this thing. So what happens? It is not in alignment, and sometimes they say it is not, it is negative. So if, again, it has something to do with the intention, so you can do something, but in that is because it comes from a certain, let's say, attitude that others are having their own drama, they're having their own life, they might be having their own problems. Then it's like whatever they say, I don't buy it. So I have to give regard for whatever they are accepting. So giving another individual the freedom to be themselves, that in itself already is a good thing, to give that kind of energy of acceptance. And once we have that level of acceptance, everybody will bloom. You come to think of the point now when you are in difficult situation, you're having some problem, and somebody just gave that very good energy of acceptance. I understand you. It's okay. It will be fine. Then this is where we can bloom. This is where we can come out from the situation. No selfish motive. And there is one person and there is one individual here where you can rest assured that it will never have any selfish motive. And who is that? It's me. So I can come up with all of these very, very sincere intentions, doing something, starting with my thoughts, starting with my words and my action. I'm doing this good thing, no selfish motive, no no other motivations behind that. So in other words, to come up with this is action as the way it is neutral. So how it can become positive or negative depends on the consciousness that I have. So if the consciousness is in terms, one is I am a taker. I want to take love. I want to take happiness. I want to take understanding. So see, it's taking. So I'm doing this for this. So whatever goes along with that is not a pure action that comes. It's not in alignment. Whereas, as I have given last time, if I come to the point of that very pure consciousness that I am actually abundant, that when I undo this, it's all about expressing the truth about myself, then whatever goes out there will be very pure, and I don't have any worry about something else that I will run out of something. It will always come back. One thing that I have read, and it's really a very good reflecting point, is to check what I am doing, or even it starts with the thinking. Is it in a point of abundance, or is it in a point of lackness? So if I am in that point of lackness or insecurity, it is something to do with the consciousness which is false. So I just have now to change that. Because by nature, as I've said last Tuesday, we are all complete already. It's just like when you get a mobile phone, like you get a certain kind of techno or an instrument. There will be a quality control before they put it out in the market. They make sure that this is functioning so well. Same thing with me. So I'm here to, what is the purpose? As Mike George was emphasizing in the talk last time, what is my purpose here? My purpose is to express that inner potential that I have. I have love. I have joy. I have wisdom. All of these things are innate part of me. And the thing to make and come up with that experience of fulfillment is to be able now to express this. So with that pure intention that I have, that I want to give, I want to share this, then it will come back automatically without any desire of wanting having love. I give love, I get back. So as they say, if you want to have something, you give back, you give that something that you want. So it all starts from me. So then it will have to come back. I will be discussing this further. So the motives, the intention, just always checking what is my intention, what is my motive. And we can always, the SOS, we can always, shift into what I should be expressing. So what is the seed of karma? It's all about my intention. It is all about my consciousness. It's all about my awareness. When you plant a seed, what is a seed? So if it is a seed of love, that seed will blossom. I will blossom into that. It will be a seed of joy. I will blossom into that also. And just like the tree, just like that plant that will grow, it will be manifested and it's going to give out something to the world. Like the tree. The tree is one example that you planted the seed and how that kind of seed had been planted, it had been nourished, it's going now to grow. So it will be manifested in terms of the fruits, in terms of how it has grown into a big tree, that its only intention at a certain point is to give. Yes, it has been receiving some kind of sustenance, but if you try to look at it, it has been giving more of what in return of what it received. I always give this as examples also whenever we have seminars in here is, let's say here also in the room or in wherever we are, if you try to take a look of all the things that you have around, all of these things that we have around are actually giving us something. Say the chair. So what is the purpose of the chair? Why is it here? So somebody can sit on it. What is the purpose of this mobile phone? What is the purpose of this laptop? What is the purpose of all of these things? It's all about so it can be given or somebody can benefit from that. Now, what about me? The highest species. So I should be better than any of these things here. So as I am in here, what is my consciousness? Do I have that consciousness of just a taker? Or do I have that consciousness that I'm going to use all of this in order for me to be able now to give further? Because we need this kind of instruments also to be able now to realize and to be able now to put out in reality what it means to be loving, what it means to be the experience of joy, the experience of balance, the experience of a lot of these things that we are truly wanting to have in this. Because that truly is the intention. So to check, what is the seed? So before it's put out, while it's still a seed, I check, is this a seed that will grow where I will benefit and others will benefit? Then I can change the seed. Because once, like for example, if the tree had grown and the tree is not serving anything, it's so difficult to uproot the tree or the weeds. So once the weeds have taken a certain kind of that level where even though you cut the weeds, it will again grow. It will again be manifested. So I should not wait for that seed, which is the thought, to go into feeling, to make effort to change that. Go into the emotion. It is very difficult to go into the shifting because already that kind of emotion had gathered a certain, let's say, inertia, has gathered a certain force where it is so difficult to turn it the other way around. So checking with the thoughts. So going back to checking the thoughts, doing in meditation, to go into the practice of putting thoughts that is in alignment. Yes, we say positive, but you would say it is in alignment with the truth that I am. What I truly believe. Is it in alignment with that? Then it will move on as accordingly. So like this. So this is the paradigm it's good to come up with this as my paradigm of how it is. So that kind of thought. We know that thought is energy. So what is the thought that I am putting into my mind, into my consciousness? What's that awareness? So the more that I put energy and focus and concentration to this, what happens now? It goes into that line. You see that line? You remember that illustration that I have put there. There are some thoughts that can be rejected because I am not putting more energy into that. But if I'm putting more attention and concentration, visualization, and so on, then it will go into feeling. It becomes like an idea. It becomes like I experience it. It creates a kind of impression that there will be emotion that will go down into my subconscious. And it can be expressed out into the different organs of the body. So down there, huh? So it can go to the emotions. And the emotions will alter, we will change the vibration. If my emotion is negative, the frequency is like that, definitely. It has a certain pattern that it will have to manifest. And the emotions, they can be classified as coming up with the same frequencies. So the frequency of fear, the frequency of worry, the frequency of this. So can you imagine if these are the emotions that have all bundled together? So it will seek, so see, it's like this. It will seek that kind of frequency where it will fit in. So it becomes stronger. Because there are a lot of these frequencies and vibrations out there. So that's how it is. I come up with it, it becomes stronger in that level, positive or negative. And that emotion carries a certain force. We know that. And it's going now to push us to be able to put that action that is according to that. Then there will be results. There will be conditions, circumstances, environment. The results will be manifested into this. And there would be a reaction to this. The action that I have based on the thoughts that I have will alter, again, it will go into that cyclic, will alter the results in there. So if I have negative still reaction, it will go into that negativity. But if I come up with that realization, starting with the thought energy, I do transformation from that, it can also alter the results. So if with that reaction that comes, I do realize something else, from the thought energy, I go into that, then it can alter the results, the condition, and the circumstances. So it's all about me. The challenge here is not to take the bait that others are responsible for my own peace, for my own happiness, for my own well-being mentally. So it's all about me. I have the choice, I have the capacity, I have all the potential to go through. So it's good to remember this paradigm so that somewhere along the line, if we're able to put some words already, of course, it will have to take time to be able now to undo. It can be undone. Starting with that thought, to come up with that alignment, the thought that goes into the alignment of who I am. So the levels of expression can come in terms of first, the subtle, the mind. It can go into the body, and later on, the possessions, relationships, time. So overall, because this is supposed to be 1 hour and a half, if we're going really to discuss this lengthily, overall, how do we know that we are in that alignment, in that level, that we are in that positive karma mind? What is the mind for? The mind is used so that we can come up with thoughts that are beneficial, that we can put now into the level of the feeling, into the level of the proper emotion, and then into the action. So if I am misusing my mind through wasteful thoughts, then it is a negative account already. It is not aligned. It is disrespect. It is an imbalance already. So in that, I don't have to wait for a certain action that will come. If I'm coming up with these wasteful thoughts, what do I feel? I don't feel good already. So there is already a reaction to that. I don't have to wait. I'm not feeling good. So if this comes already, before it goes deeper into very strong emotions, I might as well do something about the shifting of the kind of thoughts, changing, transforming the kind of thoughts that would be put there. And we have done that last time. Last time, where will be the source of the pure thoughts, where they will be so powerful, it comes from within. Then the body. What is the body? The body is the temple of the soul. Without the body, the soul cannot express anything. So this is an instrument. So in that case, I have to give due respect to this body, because if I don't give respect, I will not take care of it. What will happen? The body will have sickness, it will become ill, it's not going to function well. So because realizing the importance of the body, then take care means exercise. It means the food that I take in, the movement, and all those things that I take care. But I should not be caught up into that level of the body determines my happiness, the body determines my mood, the body determines no. Because the spirit, the more powerful energy in this body, is the one that functions, that make the body function. So, but if I realize that the body is the temple, is the, let's say, the abode of the spirit of the soul, then I give due respect. And when I give due respect, everything will be in state of balance. I respect my body. So if I'm giving rest for the body that it needs, it's giving good karma. I'm giving that respect. I'm giving that kind of balance. Because this has a certain level of energy that I have to realize I have to take care. Can't be also that, oh, I'm doing meditation, then I should be okay. No, but if I'm not doing exercise, I'm just sitting down the whole time, what will happen? There will be a consequence that will go to that. That's also one point about the law of karma. One is to know that this is a law of balance and imbalance, and then the responsibility. I have that responsibility. I have the consequences that come along with that. So the point there is to be aware that there are consequences that come along with the choices that we have. So freedom means that I took the choice, I am aware of the consequences with that, and I am willing to go through with the consequences. I don't have anybody to blame. So from there, I can always move on. I can always pick up from something to be able now to move on. So let me go through these things quickly. Possessions. So same thing. So I need all these materials to be able to do the appropriate expression. Mobile is neutral. The things that we have are neutral. It is the way we use these things that makes it good or not good. So if I'm using this as now, then it is serving me, it's giving me benefit, it's giving benefit to the others. Then I am using these possessions in the right way. But the catch there is I should not develop dependency again. So if I'm developing dependency on this, I am giving out my mastership. So if the condition again will apply, so influence, remember that influence that we discussed? So I will be allowing this. I've given my remote of my life into these possessions that I have. Again, that belief that they are the determining factors of my mood, my happiness, and so on. Relationship. Of all of this, I suppose, the most challenging is the relationship. You can have a big house, you can have a nice car, you can have all those things, those stuff. You can have a good body, strong body. But one thing really that makes us experience that happiness is the kind of relationship that we are taking. So in brief, because relationship is one big area, the purpose of relationship is so that I can give. I can give love. I can give happiness. Highest feeling that has to be shared is love. Highest expression that has to be put out there is happiness, the joy. So, but we come up with this myth that somebody is responsible to make me happy. That's why I married. That's why I got a partner. That's why I got this relationship. Because I expect that this person, that thing, will be responsible for my happiness. No. Again, it goes back. Check my intention. If my intention to go into the relationship is pursuing happiness, I will be pursuing forever. I can change one friend, one relationship. But if I move on that state of lackness, then I will always be in that. I may not be able to find the true friend that I have, put in there, because the true friend that I have is like somebody who will always give me everything. No, because we've got to have an object of our love. We've got to have an object of how we can give, the object of our giving. But again, not to develop dependency on this. So in short, the relationship, the basis of the relationship is what I can give. It's because I want to express something. So I should be thankful that there is somebody there who is wanting to receive what I have in a way, because otherwise it will not mean anything. So that itself, that wanting to give. So you bake a cake for yourself, it does not make sense, right? But if you bake something and others are there to share that, even though you have not tasted a piece of that, then there is that kind of joy that you cannot explain out there. Why? Because that is the true purpose. So the time also, am I using the time? Time is just moving. So am I in the present? Am I in the past? Am I in the future? Where am I? Time is a present. The present. So if I'm in the present, I get the gift of that. So again, it has something to do with alignment. All of these are there. Actually, I have enough of the resources that I need to be able to have that expression of the whole self. So this is a nice diagram actually. So it comes from coming from within rather than outside. So if I make that habit, I make that practice of going to my whole self, I am enough. I am in that state of abundance. That's why the gratitude is a very important point to make me come back to my spirit of abundance rather than spirit of lack. Because if that's the prevailing thing, that I lack something, I want something, I'll be moving out there and I am a taker rather than a giver. Then in that way, there would be the negative reaction to that. So my mental, my emotional, my spiritual, my physical will be based on how I am coming up from my whole self. And all the rest, all these petals that are connected in there. So these things will come in a state of balance if I come from my whole self, if I come from my reality, my truth. So again, the way to go into that, because we have accumulated a lot of these self-limiting beliefs is to always revisit about the image about myself. Do I have that faith, the knowledge, the understanding? So as I go into this, the understanding that I have goes deeper, deeper, and deeper. Way back 1991, when I started with this, is I was just fascinated with the knowledge of this one. It's just struck me about that self-respect that we have, because we're so accustomed into what they show about success, beautiful, and so on. But when I got into this, it just fascinated me. And the first time I took my meditation course, I was just in tears, expressing the joy of that understanding of that knowledge of who I truly am. And revisiting that, going into that, and it served me a lot into very challenging situations that I have gone through in my life. Coming up with this paradigm and coming up with this. So it's all about really, so like the key is with you. This knowledge is like the USB is there, okay, stuck into this consciousness. But it's all up to you. It's all up now to me to open up that file and to keep that file alive, readily available on there. If it is just stuck somewhere, it will take some time. But if every time that I open up the file of my life, the file of my action and interaction every day, this file about my whole self will just be there, and it will be easy to access in my subconscious. So what I'm talking about, my whole self, I actually have these things that I am pursuing out there. My IQ, my inner potential, my innate qualities. I am a being of peace. I have to affirm this. I have to experience this within. Otherwise, it's not going to have that, let's say, that kind of thing impressed into my subconscious as the way it is. It's already in there. I just have to really make it alive by practicing this. So if I'm practicing that peace, the peacelessness will go. If love, I keep on going into that aspect of experiencing the true love, hate will go, irritation will go. Of course, it's just a matter of time, but it has to be revisited. It has to be affirmed. It has to be played into my subconscious. I am a being of joy, of happiness. I am a being of power. I am a being of truth, the wisdom. It's revisiting this because I've created so much, a lot of wrong images about myself, my attitude, my feeling, and all of this stuff. But this is the basic thing, this is the truth, and this is all what it is. So I take it, you take it, you have the word with you. You don't take it as the way it is, there will be a lot of struggle. So one thing that I want to emphasize here is to go through, to make me going, I have to have the tool. And the tool again is the power of the mind, the power of visualization. If you can imagine it and visualize it, you can actually create it. And I think if you will read the success stories, the motivation of a lot of people, how they're able to come up with success is because of the power of visualization. To use the mind as it is. Athletes, also in medicine, they actually use free play in the mind. I don't know if we can do this, but when we have this personal contact, I come up with what you call a positive free play of the mind. But anyway, let me go through how it goes. And it is 99, if not 100% true. So first is you do a certain action, and that action can be simply you stand straight, you let your right hand be on the level of your eye. You can do this as I am illustrating this. And some of you, I think, who are here, who I'm familiar with, must have done this. And you let this rotate, move in a clockwise direction, like this. but your eye should be following the tip of your hand. Let it move. You can, yeah. So about the success stories of this, I don't remember, but you can check in the in the internet of the success stories because of the power of visualization. You just go into the power of visualization, it will give you a lot. Okay, let me continue with this. So look at this tip of the hand. It's a very short experiment that you can do. And go as far as you can without changing the position of your feet. Your waist can move as far as you can, and you mark that point in the room where your hand have reached. So it will go like this, huh? Okay? And then let your waist turn also, and then you mark mentally where your arm have reached comfortably without that pain. Then second step is you do this through visualization. Visualization means you're not doing it. You're just doing it in the mind, the same thing. So in your mind, you raise your right hand, you rotate the right hand in a clockwise direction, and then turn as far as you can. You repeat the same process that you did in the first, but you doing it in your mind. And then the third step is with your hand, you're doing it practically, and you will do the same thing from there, same action. You go in that direction, clockwise direction, and you turn and see where your hand had landed in that point. So if you do that, you'll see that you have reached further than the first one. Why? What happened? It's because of the visualization that you have done. And we are actually doing the visualization. We're coming up with a lot of images, that kind of concentration. But most of the time, our pre-play is on the negative. For example, you have to meet to meet somebody, and that somebody, let's say, is most of the time late, not punctual. So what happens? Okay, we're going to meet at this time. That person asked you to. So what happens is, because of the past experiences that we have, we allow that now to go into my conscious and then play. This person is going to be late again. That person is going to do this. This person in there will be late. So you go, well, you went on time because you are an on-time person, and then that person was late. Most likely, because of the pre-play, we are giving that energy. See, when we are doing it, we are, remember, we are, the thoughts that we put there actually is going out there and giving out that kind of vibration. So what happens when I realize this is to check, what am I pre-playing? What am I playing in my mind? Is it something that serves me, or is it something that goes against my alignment? So for example, that person, you know that person will be late for whatever reason. You will have a number of reasons. So what happens, instead of allowing your mind to pre-play that, you can come up with other thoughts like, that person comes, she's late, but she's thoughtful. She will always bring me something for me. She's a person very good to talk with. See, you're coming up with this pre-play in there. Instead, you know that that situation is there, but you don't allow that stage. You're not allowing your mind to be used in a wasteful way. So again, it is a respect of your mind. Yeah? So the pre-play. So for some, before they do something, what they do, you can try to do this. Before you do something early in the morning, which is part of your meditation, you come up with images, you run in your mind. What are the things that you have to do very clearly, with clarity, with that peace in your heart, with that confidence in you, that it will turn in this way. And if ever it will not, that peace should not go. So it's all about not really that happening, but your peace will always be something that will be stable. Because that peace that you keep will give you clarity of what you are going to do to be able to respond in the situation as accordingly. Because we never know why things happen. Things happen for a reason, as they say. And if we are not into that clarity mode, we will be carried with negative feelings and we will be in confusion most of the time. But if something happens, even not according to how we wanted it, but we wanted it to be successful, but that success may be in a different way, we're able to see what I have to do to be able to address that particular situation. If I'm not able, so the point there is not to lose my peace, not to lose that contentment, not to lose that clarity of my truth, because that is what I'm going to use every time to be able to have that right decision in that particular moment. So to check, so in that I use in meditation. So in meditation, I see myself as that peaceful being. So a lot use this to be able to create that energy. And then out there, it will be manifested. So the alignment, let's go back to that SOS that was mentioned earlier. Stand back, observe, and still. So this process of standing back and observing will be a process that I have now to check. Am I in alignment with my truth? What is the truth? I am a being that is embodied with that innate qualities that I have. I am a being of peace. To start with, always keep pocket this in your intellect about who am I. I am a being of peace. And in that kindness, that compassion, that mercy will all come. The purpose. What is the purpose is to express. So the words that I have said, perhaps, is it in the purpose of that peace, to express peace? Is the action that I did in that alignment? So at a certain point, if I start from the thought level already and practicing that, then it will do less damage in terms of the action and coming back to me. Okay? So what happens now when I am into that alignment, it's like driving in the highway where you are just in that lane straight to the destination. And if ever something happens, because you are in that state of that alignment, there is always that clarity that you can depend on, that you will come up with that very positive response that I can make in that situation. So these things that I always have now to put in that SOS, it's checking the alignment. So I may have the right thoughts, but somewhere along the line, I might have been influenced by what I heard. I might have been influenced by what I have seen, and so on. So again, I can always go back and then steer and then change and move on into the journey of life. So, golden rule, you have the power to think what you want, no matter what the circumstances is. The karma cleanse, whenever we feel that something not good is going on, and we thought that I thought that I'm doing positive, I'm doing this. There could be some things in the past that is coming in between. So one thing, so we don't go down the drain, is always to come up with thoughts of gratefulness, of words of gratefulness, of actions of gratefulness. So act with love. Gratefulness, action with love, no matter how simple it is. Action with love, no matter how simple it is, it will go a long way. An action that carries on that cheerfulness. I also give this example about this security guard in city center before. So I was told that he's a Pakistani. So it would always be there, maybe 5 years ago, something like that. But there is the security guard who will be at the city center, who will always give you the best smile in the world under the heat when you are in the exit. I think you would remember this. And now when I mention this, what happens? You get to remember that person with that same best smile that he has given. Why? Probably, most likely, he just loves what he's doing. And it's his way to express, no matter how simple the thing is. It's not about that, but it's about how we have played that role. So check the motives, as I've said. Watch the attitude, because that gives that vibration. And most of all, forgive. Whom to forgive first? The self. It's so easy maybe to forgive others, but the self will always come back. And you know, that inner voice saying, see, you're not good enough, or what? Make the decision that the first thing I have to forgive is myself. So one of the things that I do remember until now, first that I've been taking the course is, don't give sorrow, don't accept sorrow. Why sorrow comes? Why I am giving sorrow? Because at a certain point, I allowed myself to accept sorrow. Accept sorrow means I allowed myself to be influenced by certain form of negativity. So to receive happiness, peace, love, and friendship, one must be, you have to be happy when receiving this. You have to be peaceful in terms of that. So if you see already that that's not so, why do I have to accept it? Even though it is so coated so nicely, but inside I know the content. So if I take that, what will I give? I will be giving the same thing. So this is the thing that comes in between of my innate quality of the truth that I have, because I have come up with impurities. That's why I am giving that out. So again, put that aside and always now go and enhance, make this alive, make this really it's not only potential, but it is something that is really in action. So to close in the positive thinking course. So we hope that this course, these 4 sessions that have been given to you, will be a way by which I can pave the way to be able now to look at life as the way it is. To look at life that no matter what circumstances come, I am the master. I hold the remote and the setting that I would want to experience in my life, to be the master. That's why the Raj, the king of my own kingdom. So life is also a balance to consider that. Be kind, but don't allow the people to abuse you. Trust, but don't get deceived. Be content, but never stop improving yourself. So in that state of that contentment, in that state of having enough, we can always have enough so that we can always give to others. So stay peaceful, joyful, loveful, stay connected. So thank you so much. We will close in. We will close in with meditation. And should you have some like that, if you want to continue with meditation, you can always express your concern for that. There would be a program or a course that will come probably after next month. Or if you have really a concern for that, then there is no question about schedule. We can always give a schedule for that. But do join us for the evening meditations, no? On Monday and on Thursday, 7 to 7:30 in the evening, because your presence will also be um, a good way of giving out energy out there. So it's not about just joining in there, but it's an opportunity by which all together, all of us can give out this energy to the world. So really, in behalf of Barin Meditation Center, we express our appreciation for your presence and being with us to move on with this endeavor that we have. So let's close in with a meditation. Thank you so much to all of you. I look forward to meeting you again. Physically also, when we get to open, it's so lovely to see everyone here physically. So let's have that meditation, that connection. a great weekend and Eid Mubarak, by the way. So everyone will be enjoying a great holiday. It's already positive. So thank you so much. Looking forward to meeting you again.